What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. On this one we're going to break down exactly how I made $28,311 in just under 10 weeks with one single prop firm day trade. We're going to break down the strategy, the model, the risk, the psychology needed, and all the extra little bits and pieces that go into achieving a goal like this and a money amount like this with one single prop firm in this time period. When we get into it and actually break down the number $28,311, obviously, you're looking at about 10k months. You're looking at 10k months with one single prop firm in that region of 9 to 11k per month. So that's what we ended up achieving with Lucid Trading. We also obviously trade Alpha, Top Steps, and a few other prop firms as well as our live account. But we're going to break down exactly how you can with max allocation with one single prop firm, because that, in my opinion, is the best thing to do to be able to scale one prop firm and then scale into other prop firms. But getting into the video, when we look at the money amount here, as you can see, these are the payouts. You notice one thing about these payouts, they're not home runs. No payouts here are of a home run nature. We do have a 6k payout, I think. Yep, we have a 5k payout. We have another 5k payout. Numbers like this, again, not crazy numbers that you see on TikTok of a 10, 15k, 20k payout, because that's not exactly how I like to trade, going for huge payouts. I tend to hit home run and base hits on a few different prop firms to get high five-figure months, so on and so forth. Getting into obviously the prop firm first that you can do this with. Again, basic stuff. Most people know what prop firms they trade with, or if you want to get into trading and want to hit money amounts like this, Alpha Futures, Lucid Trading, in my opinion, are two of your best options right now. Easiest firms to trade with, Lucid, obviously, as I showed, got these payouts. Alpha Futures, if you're trading with them, obviously they have consistency accounts, but again, super easy to trade with, 5 zeros, 7.5k payouts. You need 4 in 10 weeks to hit a 30k payout with them in under 10 weeks. You need 4 max payouts in under 10 weeks to be able to achieve this goal. And obviously, you want to have your earnings be more than your expenses. You don't want to be throwing money into evaluation, so on and so forth. So you need to be careful that you don't obviously blow loads of accounts, so on and so forth. But we're going to get into that. When we go over here to the model itself, okay, so let me get my pen out. When we go over to the model, my model's a little bit different in the sense I don't have a high win rate model. Yes, sometimes I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hour trades, but mostly my trades are 1 or 2 hour. Okay, they're in the range what I trade with. Mostly base hits, get my piece of the pie for the day and get out. I like having a high win rate. My win rate is in about the 70 to 75% range. Sometimes a little bit higher, depending on obviously the time and such, the winning period, the losing period, so on and so forth. Obviously, trailing TP. This is what I said allows me to get these big plays. 3, 4, 5, 6 hour plays with my trailing TP. It's something I put into my trading to allow me to get these big payouts and allow me to hit big money amounts day trading. When I catch a move or at the bottom of a move, because I trade lower time frames, sometimes I'll catch the bottom of a big move, or else I'll catch a nice continuation for New York AM's move, so I can hold on to trail my position all the way up, catch more R, make more money, instead of obviously having a hard TP at 1 or 2 R. That's how I like to do it. Some people use fixed R. I'm a little bit different in how I do things. Same entry model, draws and liquidity, same session traded. This is basic information that most people know. If you don't, I would stick with one entry model, especially one entry model. Have your draws on liquidity, have your key areas or whatever it might be, whatever system you trade, and trade the same times. That is what allowed me to become profitable. Sometimes I'll branch out, trade some Asia higher time frame and stuff on my live account and a few other accounts. But most of the time, I'm only trading this session here, which will be New York AM session with my 3-step model that I obviously trade. Again, these are some of the rules inside my model right here, as you can see up here. How strong your draw on liquidity is. This is something in my model that my students have to work on. That is the hardest part, in my opinion, of how I trade, is whether to hold towards the draw on liquidity or trail your position hard. And most of them end up getting the hang of it. Basically, if you have a strong draw on liquidity, you want to hold to it. If you don't, start trailing your position. That comes with practice and time, but don't get too greedy. If you have your piece of the pie, your 1, 2 R, whatever it might be for the day, be done. Be happy with what you have and be done. But obviously in your model, if depending on your strategy and stuff, if you always hold the draws and liquidity, and that's what you've back tested and stuff, stick with that. Stick with what's working with you. We're doing some back end, and I'm obviously showing off my model in this. Risk amounts is next. So risk that I use in my trading. For me, personally, I have consistent risk. unless I'm going for a winning day. What do I mean by that? I trade the exact same when I start with my accounts. For example, if it's an Alpha Zero, maybe it's $500, $700, and obviously I'll risk the same amount until I have my balance built, buffer build, and maybe I have the payout secured. I just need to get winning days, and that is where I will drop my amount I'm risking to $200 or whatever it might be, and go for a 1-to-1 hour to get my winning days. That's how I like to do it. Some people do it a little bit differently. For me, prop firms, get money as quick as possible out of them while spending as little while making as much. Obviously, that's what we all want to do. That's why I've been able to trade full time, make whatever amount of money, and live around the world now for well over a year doing exactly how I do this model. Trade this exact way. As well as you can grow your live account and stuff. Obviously, if you're on your live account, consistent risk on every single trade. Makes sense? Fair enough. Use the features given to you on risk settings. If psychology is your biggest issue, and I know most people watching this it might be, or if you haven't got into day trading yet and you're watching this video and you're going to start getting into it after this video, then obviously watch my free bootcamp I have. It's not called a bootcamp, it's called Blueprint. And watch my free blueprint on my profile. But when you start trading these prop firms, some of them have features that we need to be using. You need to be using to get consistency. In my opinion, if you're not using them, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Use the features of lockout buttons, max daily loss limits, lockout for a number of hours. If you have an issue when market opens in Asia, you want to trade it, and you end up blowing the account, and you can't even trade your session New York AM. Minute Asia opens, lock yourself out till 2 o'clock or 1:30, whatever it might be, whatever time zone you're in, till market open for obviously the session you're going to be trading. I used to have that issue when I first started going on trying to catch an Asia trade. Realized it wasn't the best for me. Obviously, I went back to it and still trade a little bit now. But that was after I got consistency, got control of my brain, and actually locked in and became profitable. Don't be going doing anything stupid while you're not profitable. It makes no sense. Just stick with what's going to work for you, and obviously trade one session and use these features. Getting over to the psychology itself of this, okay? You can't explode. Doing let's say doing a challenge like this, trying to make 30k in 10 weeks, okay? Doing a challenge like this, you can't explode, you can't lose accounts, you can't lose your buffers, you can't do all this. Well, you can lose your buffers and lose accounts, completely fine, if your system's going through a losing period. If you do it by being an idiot, over trading, over risking, doing all these stupid things you know you shouldn't be doing in your day trading, then that is where you're not going to be able to achieve these money amounts. You're not going to be able to do it full time. You're not going to be able to become profitable. You're not going to be able to leave your job. You're not going to be able to do all these things. All these negative things and emotions come from exploding and being an idiot. Doing stupid things on the charts. Over trading. All these things you're going to cause you to not be able to see success in day trading. I'm sure most mentors or most people that post online or most whatever have profitable models, but most people's issue is they overtrade, over-risk, do stupid things, and it ends up costing them long term in the sense that they can't trade full time, that they can't be positive trading, that they're depressed trader. Not that they're a depressed trader, that they're an unprofitable day trader. Well, they probably are depressed if they're unprofitable, but you know what I mean. So you need to lock in, not explode. It's as simple as that. You can use all the tools, lockout, so on and so forth, but you just have to get control of your brain. And that's the harsh reality of day trading. If you can't do that, the game's not for you. And if you want the big game to be for you, change it. You can change it. I changed it. Everyone I know that's profitable changed it. Change it. Trades per day. I take 1 win, 1 loss, or 2 break-evens. That is it. 1 win, 1 loss, or 2 break-evens on each set of accounts. I have a few sets of accounts. I have my live account, some Apexes, some Alpha Futures. Sometimes I trade them all together, sometimes I don't, so on and so forth. Obviously have Lucids, so on and so forth, okay? So I can take a few trades in the day on a few different accounts. Usually I take 1 win or 1 loss a day. On each account it's 1 win or 1 loss and 2 break-evens. Even if I take 2 break-evens, lock myself out, go to a different set of accounts if I'm trading them all together, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail on what days I decide to do that and stuff, but basically I only take 1 win or 1 loss on each set of accounts. Stops me overtrading, stops me doing stupid things, stops me just being an idiot on the charts. Obviously I had to do that to get success in trading. Now I be able to get control of my brain, realize it's a probability, it's a statistics game. But at the time, if you try to tell me that when I was unprofitable curly, that it would matter about my trades per day, I would have told you no, whenever the best setup appears. And I agree, you could have 2 or 3 good setups for your strategy in one day. Doesn't matter. 1 trade a day for me stopped me over trading and allowed me to get consistency and payouts. Greed, as we talked about a little bit. The trail and TP. Some on my model need to be a little bit careful you don't get too greedy. Most people that trade my model and stuff are the opposite. They don't hold long enough. They trail quite tight, which I do as well. I'm a quite tight trader. As I said, I like end of 1, 2 hour a day, and then the big 3, 4, 5 hour days are what get me seriously paid in day trading. But sometimes that can be an issue. Greed as well. But one trade a day will stop some greed. Not exploding will stop greed, so on and so forth. Knowing when to get off for the day kind of ties into this and this. Knowing when to get off is simply a skill that you're going to build over time, and something that you need to get used to in your day trading, that you need to accept when your model's not going to play out. When the trade's gone, you missed the trade, or the draw liquidity's gone, there was no entry, completely fine. Go again tomorrow. Don't do something stupid, because you're in a position now where you're break even. You haven't took a trade for the day, so you're fresh. You can reset, come back tomorrow. If you end up FOMOing in, fair enough, you might get a win, but overall it's going to cost you long term. You're going to get caught out, because what's going to happen, you're going to lose 1 hour, and then you're going to explode, because you can't keep control of your brain, because you keep exploding. Okay? Lock in on this. Super important day trade, in my opinion. Base hits is huge for my trend. As I've talked about a little bit, we'll go through the extras in a bit, but base hits are what allow you to get consistent in your day trade. And again, look here, base hits. Look at some of these base hits we're after hitting here. 2.5k, 1k. This one I was just testing out the prop farm. A 1k or basically a 2k payout on one account. Another 1 account payout, 2 account payout, another account. Some of my accounts were on different time periods, had a copy trader issue and it blew some accounts, so on and so forth. So again, these are, to be honest, it's actually been unfortunate with Lucid that usually I do get bigger payouts, in the sense like all my accounts are at the exact same profit margin or exact same point, like all 5 accounts with most prop farms, like my Alpha Futures and that right now. But when I was trading, obviously in this period that I'm talking about with Lucid, all the accounts were on like different balances at loads of different points. So yeah, we ended up just getting the payouts when I could. Whenever I got payouts, to be honest, I was just trading them, and whenever I could take a payout, I was taking it with this prop firm. I wasn't going for huge payouts with this prop firm. It was more of like a challenge, see how many consistent payouts I could take, and obviously this is what we ended up getting in the period I'm talking about. Obviously still trading with them, obviously, but you know what I mean, we're just talking about this 10-week period. When we go over here to base hits, as I talked about, so base hits, we're not going for crazy payouts. So as you can see, we have a 6k payout and stuff, not crazy, to be honest. When you start getting profitable day trading, it's not a crazy big payout, but a very good payout. Obviously, a bank booster, okay, so a very good payout. But when we look at greed as well, this comes into it. As you can see, I was taking 1, 2, 3, 4k payouts. I wasn't going for a 10k payout. I could have. I had 5 accounts a few times. I could have went for the 5k or the 10k payouts. Did I? No. Got my money into my bank account. Because that's realistically where you can spend money and where you can change your life. When it's coming into a bank account. Can you change it when it's sitting in a prop firm account? No. You can't, because you can't spend it. You can't go, oh, I'm going to tap my Lucid 50k funded account there to pay for them groceries. Do you know what I mean? You can't do it. So you need to get it into your bank, and that needs to be the ultimate goal. As soon as you can get money in the bank, get it into it. Everyone in my group and all my students always ask, I can take a blah, blah, blah amount of payout. What should I do? Should I build my balance bigger? Nope, take the fucking payout. Payout, payout, payout. If you can take a payout, get it. Get it into your bank. Now, fair enough if it's a $500 payout and you're only leaving yourself $500 drawdown, or it's a small amount. But if it's over $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it might be, and you are trying to get consistency in day trading, trying to do it profitable, so on and so forth, then you need to be taking them payouts to prove to yourself you can do it consistently. When we look at winning days, talked about this already a small little bit. Win days made, if I have to risk 150, if to make 150, I risk 150, go for 1 hour. I'll usually take a trade every day unless there's not a setup. Doing this made, obviously I'm lucky enough to have a few accounts, so if I go for win days, I can obviously just go for the win day and risk a little bit more on other accounts or whatever, like up my risk on other accounts or whatever that I'm trading with other prop firms, but you get what I mean. Winning days, this is how I do it, risk 1-to-1, tend to go a bit discretionary, make sure I can get the winning day, because again, it's a speed thing for me, it's an ROI thing to get the money into my bank account from these prop firms, as we've talked about, and as you're kind of getting the sense of how I run things with how I try and get these sort of money amounts trading. Okay, when we go over here to extras, so these are extra little things that are going to be able to improve your day trade, also obviously achieve the amounts we're talking about. Discord and real life. Make sure your real life is in check. I want walks. When you get walks in, when you get some gym in, we don't have to get them in, but do some sort of things to make you feel good. Off the chart stuff. I was a big fan when I was becoming profitable or trying to lock in. I assume if you're watching this, you're in the period where you're trying to lock in on trading, or you're trying to star, and you want to get the consistency. When I was in that period, walks, sauna, being in Discords, chatting to people, so on and so forth. I obviously have my own Discord, have my own free Discord for ages, still do. Free Discord's in the bio. Do some live trading that every now and again. But I obviously have my paid Discord and my paid mentorship now. So that's mostly what I spend most of my time in now. Obviously, I don't need any sense, but it's good to talk to them boys because they're in that. They can talk about what they're seeing. They can rely on each other. And it's good for not overtrading, not getting FOMO, so on and so forth, because people are there to hold you accountable. In my chat, for example, I'm there to hold people accountable that have to overtrade or do some stupid things. I message, but I don't even have to. Other people message in straight away before me, giving out to them already. That doesn't happen a lot, obviously, but you get what I mean. Real life in check, as I said, you need to have your real life in check with walks, sauna, so on and so forth. And here's a really little thing. Day trading is not the most important part of your day. For me, day trading used to be the most important part of my day. It used to be everything because I knew it was what was going to get me freedom. I knew it was what was going to get me be able to leave my job and travel around the world and make money and do all the things I wanted to do. But I couldn't focus in on and rely on it. And that's crazy to say. I know you can't do it. And I'm giving advice I did not follow. Okay? But that's exactly why it's good advice, because I wish I did follow it, because it would have speeded up my success. Day trading was always the most important part of my life, or important part of my day. I kind of dropped everything to become a full-time day trader. Obviously, thankfully, very much worked out for me. I'm very blessed and extremely lucky and fortunate. But I put in the work. And you need to put in the work. I'm not saying don't journal, don't do all these things, don't backtest, don't spend hours on the chart. I'm saying it can't be the most important thing that you don't have anything else to do, that you're going to sit there, overtrade, do stupid things on the chart and end up just blowing progress because you've nothing to do and you're just literally sitting inside day trading for 23 hours a day. So there are a few of the extra things I do. When we go through and break down psychology again, simply don't explode. If you can do that, you are 90% profitable in the sense of trades per day, agreed, all these things will fit in to obviously get you over the hump. When it comes to my risk, as I've said, not going to go too much into exact amounts and accounts, have in other videos. And then my model, obviously, that I trade, went into a little bit of detail about the things that allowed me in my model, to be able to hit these big payouts and get consistency and hit these big amounts on one single prop firm. And then we obviously have the payouts themselves. So that's exactly how I would go about and the kind of method I use to get payout amounts like this, $28,311 in under 10 weeks of one prop firm. Again, maybe not the craziest amount in the world, but it is with one single prop firm. I obviously do trade a few, so you can kind of guess how much you can make from prop firms and so on and so forth. If you're trading 3, 4, or 5 prop firms and you obviously have your live account as well, so on and so forth. You get the picture of how much you can make in day trading. But obviously, it's going to take a lot of work. And to be honest, it is quite hard. But that is the point. That's what you're getting paid to do. And then these sort of money amounts can obviously then hit your bank account. We'll leave it there. If you want to find any more info about how I trade, so on and so forth, there's loads on my YouTube there, or to work with me, the link's in my bio. If anyone needs me about anything, any questions, anything, so on and so forth, drop me a message on Instagram. Is the best place to get me. Just drop me a DM, and I'll make sure to get back to a voice note or give you a little bit of help on where you might be in trade and how I can obviously help your day trading, or if you have a specific issue, I maybe can give you a hand on it. We'll leave it there. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you see all the success you want to see in day trading. Peace out.